apologies, I had a phone call come through and it messed up the video, so I'm going to resume with a fresh one. This is a rainbow, and if you remember me saying before, it's been high on my list for a long time. It's one I didn't think I was going to get for a long while, but I managed to find a nursery that does do them. I've found one or two now that does do them. Larch Cottage Nurseries is the one, or one of, that does these, and they're in 3 litre pots. Yeah, so yeah, with this you're going to get some really nice contrast of variegation of light pinks and darker burgundies, and it has a upright growth habit. And let's have a look on what this. So yeah, there you go, the rainbow. It might even be a compact upright, I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely upright growth. Yeah, so that's rainbow. And here is the last but not least, we have a Shiroswanum, I'll say that again, Shiroswanum Johan, and I'll let you see the label so you can decide for yourself. There it is. That's what this one is. Yeah, the graft is looking pretty good. I know they do look ugly sometimes, but as the tree does mature, it kind of blends. The trunk thickens and it's hardly noticeable. It looks most ugly in the younger stages where the wound is still fresh and healing with all the callousing and all of that. And yeah, these I believe it's like a burgundy with green veining that you'll see. You see those green stripes, so you'll get that contrast of the purple burgundy kind of colour on the leaf, and you'll see the green, limey green sort of veining that goes through the middle of each of the lobes, which creates a nice colour contrast. Now the Shiroswanums are known for going some really beautiful autumn colours. When you get to the fall, you're definitely going to get a good show from any kind of Shiroswanum. And the foliage does tend to be bigger than the palmatum types in general, but yeah, I'm really happy to get this one, and yeah, see what we can do with this. So there you have it. There's my 4 purchases from Larch Cottage Nurseries. I'm really delighted with these. I can't wait to see them grow into the beautiful specimens that they are. It's really exciting. So, and yeah, and you know, once they've grown on for a couple of years, it gives me a chance to even propagate some myself. I am practicing propagation myself, so I am a man on a mission. Just to give you a little spin around and show you what we've got around here. So in this mini greenhouse, we're going to have all the seeds or seedlings growing in there. I'll do a separate video and show you those. We have cuttings from different maples, and also juniper Itoegawa and a hinoki cypress. So I'm growing them on to train into bonsai. So yeah, they're quite pricey to buy and get imported, so I'm going to be efficient and be patient and grow my own. So yeah, I'll give you a little spin around. that's another rainbow that I got. This is the amber ghost I was showing you earlier. It's just started to leaf out, but yeah, look at those colours, amazing, absolute showstopper. And out of all the ghost series, this amber ghost is probably the most highly rated from people's top 5s that I've seen. So it's definitely up there for me. I do have a nice purple ghost as well, and we'll get that in on a video. Sangu Kaku. This is a little bonsai project down here. I've trimmed that right back, gave it a hard prune about a month ago. That's an emerald lace, as is the one above it. It's kind of like a semi-cascading habit. It's going to make a real interesting bonsai. It's got small palmated foliage, and it's going to look really cool. Go around here, some more here. This is a Kinran, hasn't fully come out. Little snails are everywhere this time of the year. You can see some other sort of junipers. All these green ones down here are junipers. They're going to be trained and worked on for bonsai. This here is a Katsura. Katsura's got really nice foliage. Again, if you prune back the bigger leaves, you will get the smaller leaf, which looks really nice on a bonsai prospect. Okay, Extravaganza at the back, that's ready to burst out in a flush of pink. And look at this one here, Ukigumo. You can already see the peachy, creamy kind of colour. It's also known as white clouds. This is a really eye-catching piece, so I'm looking forward to seeing this come out. We're nearly there. Shishigashira. Yep. And let's spin around. Oh, and there's one here as well. They're everywhere. What's this one? A Ayoshi. This is going to be another variegated type. It's going to have a lot of flushes of pink and greens. These are rootstock that I'm growing, as are all of those down there. And I've got more rootstock in the mini greenhouse. Seedlings in there as well that are coming through. You can just about see, hold up. Yeah, I'll do another video with them. Nice, there's another type of Shiroswanum, a Yasmin. Emerald lace. I really like the emerald lace. It's got really delicate foliage, and it's got a really nice canopy as well. I like the growth habit on this one. Meiku Jaku, or Aconitifolium. This one's got many names. Dancing peacock, depending on what part of the world you come from. But yep, you can see these flowers it's got. They're going to turn into samaras and produce seed at some point later on in the season. And I'll plant those up and Hopefully grow some seedlings next year. Sakazuki's coming through at the back. I know this looks bad. I do care about this tree. I've just run out of a bit of space, so I'm just putting on top of that pile for now. I care about all of my trees, so don't think I'm mistreating it. This is an Ariadne. What a beautiful tree this is. The colours coming through on this are spectacular, and the wind blows, they look like, I don't know, the leaves look like they're dancing. I know it sounds a bit cliche, but when you do get a gentle breeze and the leaves do move, it really looks cool, and really calming. It's a really soothing thing. So yeah, another variegated type. You can probably tell what kinds of maples I do like. I mean, look at this, you can see every vein pretty much. Amagi Shiguri is probably one of the best ones I've seen in terms of variegation and deep contrast of colour. Amazing tree that. So a little story of this tree. You'll see here that was once a big branch. I decided to air layer the branch, and I was just experimenting, and that one is now here. So that's the Ariadne that I air layered from that branch from the other tree. And if we look, I'll try and move a bit closer. It's producing its own flowers, which means it's going to be producing seed at some point soon. This one hasn't got the seed on it, funnily enough. The parent tree hasn't got the seed, which I believe when I did the air layering it caused stress on the tree, because what it does is it makes the tree think it's dying at the point where the damage is, and it sends all its vital energy into this branch. So if you think about what you're going to need for survival in the future, you're going to need your seeds, right, to reproduce. So I believe it sent all of that information through here. I do believe it will come back to this tree, but it obviously needs to resettle itself and get back to a stable state, which it will return. So there we have a Bloodgood. Is a Shishigashira, which is also air layering. So these two in the middle are air layerings, and that the same thing has happened on that Shishigashira. You can see the small flowers, the little red flowers there. Again, the parent tree to that hasn't got the flowers on it, so the same thing has happened. Okay, let's walk out around here. So yeah, that's this space. Welcome to the happy place. Always reminds me to never take life too seriously when I see this, and just be grateful, you know. I'm happy to be working in nature, with nature, and just appreciating. This is kind of like my workstation. This is where all of the repotting happens, and what else do I do here? Any work I'm doing on the bonsai, trimming branches, wiring branches, I bring it all here. I have all my different mediums here. This is my special mix that I've made up for bonsai material. It's got a mixture of composted pine bark, akadama, and sphagnum moss. I put little bits of sphagnum moss as well. So there's the akadama, and there's a finer grade of the akadama under there. right under here we've got volcanic grit, which is really good for drainage, as is the Academas. We have fine pine bark chippings in here. I tend to layer that on the top of my maples to kind of create a protective barrier from the elements. And then here we have moss. I really appreciate the use of moss and the qualities that it has. It's a really useful part of nature, should I say. It's really good for any plants that are damaged, like roots that need to be regrown, or if they're under stress. Say the soil the tree's in is not very good, it might be diseased or whatever. It's antifungal, so it can counter a lot of negative effects from fungal diseases and really promote healthy growth of the roots. So that's the top one to have that. In there is a whole load of composted pine bark, and under there is my special mix for the maples, which is 50% composted bark. Sorry, tell a lie. 50% ericaceous soil, 50% John Innes or John Innes 2, and I just throw in a bit of composted pine bark as well, and perlite also. Perlite helps retain the moisture as well as allowing for filtration. Okay, here we have some more. This is a very interesting one, Higasayama. The leaves, they come out in this unfurling fashion, like they're being unfurling. It's really nice to look at this one. This is an extravaganza, Beni Shishienje. There's the Shishigashira that I air layered from. You can see the part in the middle where that was. Okay, I'm still deciding whether to turn this one into a bonsai. It's definitely got a bonsai feel to it because it's got strong nabari meaning roots. You can see the surface roots there and they look very attractive, and it's got a good movement to the trunk, so it's definitely on my radar for a bonsai prospect. This was my very first Japanese maple, and my mum bought it for me about must have been about 8 years ago. No, 7 years ago. I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago, because my son was like 2 or 3 at the time, and now he's 9. So story with this one, you can see where it's been cut there. Well, it used to be twice the height, maybe 3 times the height it is now, but in the old property where I was living, the top half of it got damaged by sun, and I think some of the branches got diseased as well, so I just hacked it back from the top, and that created a thicker trunk lower down in time, and bonsai weren't even on my radar at that point in my life, and he's just developed into this fine specimen. It's a really lovely looking tree. You can see the nabari here as well, some really nice roots. Now this branch here I'm going to end up air layering, as we've got too many thick branches at this part of the trunk, which will cause inverse taper, which will cause the part of the trunk to be thicker here than down here, which you don't want. It's not going to look very attractive. So the idea is, yeah, I'll air layer this, and then I would put air layer that as well, and then I can cut them back, and the growth will be distributed more evenly. And I've created 2 more trees from this one as well. It's creating a nice cycle, let's say. Yeah, this is a Mikazuki, another one of my favorites. Just amazing colors again. I mean, look at that. Truly spectacular. Another interesting trunk is sort of semi-cascading over to the side there. I think I'm definitely going to use that as a bonsai project. And here we have Amagi Shiguri. And the lady I got this from, she supplies the plants with these engraved tags, which is, I think, a really nice touch. That's Poppins Nursery, by the way. So yeah, if you're ever getting something from there, that's a nice touch that you'll get. Looks quite similar to the Mikazuki we just looked at, but I managed to achieve my very first successful graft from this tree, and when I did, the colours I was getting were out of this world. I was getting bright oranges, yellows, greens, all at the same time on the leaves. It was really spectacular. So that's that one. Reticulatum como. I've got a couple of these. Really nice cream and limey green foliage on that. This is a Sumagaki. It's still to leaf out, but when it does, you will know about it. It's these nice, I think it's got 5 or 6 lobes to the leaf, and it's the ends of them are all tipped in red. It's also nicknamed fingernails. So it makes sense when you actually see it. Yeah, really liking the look of this. This is a Nukigumo, so the white clouds I was talking about earlier. But this one hasn't seemed to have got that much variegation going on, but I'm really liking the structure of the leaf. It's looking really nice. These here, Wakehurst pink. So this one here is a Shigetatsu Sawa. Now this one's responsible for the Ghost series. I believe the first Ghost of the Ghost series, or the first maple of the Ghost series, was a seedling from one of the trees of a Sawa, Shigetatsu Sawa. So yeah, Sawa Chidori, one of my absolute favourites when this one leaves out. It's incredible, really nice, and it's got the prospect of seeds as well, so really looking forward to that. Dragon Master. Okay, so this is a weeping type, but I've staked it up so I can sort of manipulate how it falls down or weeps down, shall I say. Yeah, it's kind of like a weeping version of a orange dream. Very similar leaves. Moonfire. Yeah, look at that. Really nice looking tree. Oh, this is the other Como. So look at that. So yeah, I picked up about 3 of these Buddha statues. I think they're really nice. The name of this one is Hear No Evil, as you can get the gist of that. The other one I've got is Speak No Evil, and he's got his hand over his mouth just down there. Okay, so yeah, that's that one there. This one's an Orium. This is the biggest tree I've got to date, and I got it on a huge discount. I was so happy. Just by the luck of it, it was 20% off that day because it was a part of the plant of the month. So Aces in the garden centre that month were all 20% off because that was the deal they were doing. So very happy about that. I think this one was imported from Italy as well, but it's got a really interesting branch structure. It's an Aconitifolium. I've got about 3 of these, I think it is. This is a Hanamatoi. This is meant to be variegated with pink streaks, but I'm still not seeing any yet. Maybe later on in the season we'll start to see some more streaks of pink, hopefully. And then look at this purple ghost. Look at the leaves dance in the wind. It's just, this is the reason that you get maples, you know, this time of the year. Even the fall time is what they're known for the most, but you just get so many treats with them. And I think the magic of maples is, yeah, you have that winter where there's no leaves on the branches, but it gives you something to look forward to. Yeah, that's all part of the maple magic. And you can see there's a silvery wrapper on this. Yep, I am air layering this, so I will post an update on how that goes at some point. Right, and that is pretty much everything other than the stuff at the front, but we're getting on to half an hour now onto this video. Yeah, I hope you like the collection. I hope I've inspired some of you and to start collecting and just get involved with it, you know, because it is very enjoyable, relaxing, healing, all those things. It does a lot. For me personally, it does anyway. So there we have it. Take care, like and subscribe. Peace out.